Hey, horror fans! Once again, it's the Horror Miser Monty G, and I'm here to continue my Paranormal Activity series. Now I'm going to do Paranormal Activity 2. Yes! Now, obviously, with the success of Paranormal Activity and the type of money that it made more than tripled or quadrupled the amount of money that Orland Perrin spent and Paramount did to market the film. Obviously, Paramount wanted a sequel to it. So Orland Penn, who was the executive producer this one, kind of writing team together with Christopher Landon, and they came up with this second movie of Paranormal Activity 2, which I thought they actually did a pretty good job on. Now, there's a couple of things that I forgot to mention in the first video that I did. Now, in the first movie, there were actually other ending or alternate endings that they created. Now, obviously, we saw the original ending that I'm pretty sure everyone saw by now, but there were another ending where Katie sits on the bed and rocks back and forth for 2 days. Now, after her friend calls the police, the possessed Katie starts attacking the police. Now, she still has a knife in her hand, and they eventually shoot her dead. So both Micah and Katie are killed in this particular original ending. And Paramount decided to nix it. They said, no, we don't want that ending. Paramount decided that they want to do another ending, where Katie, after killing Micah, comes upstairs, up into the bedroom, looks at the camera, takes a knife, and kills herself by cutting her throat off. They didn't want to do that one either. There was another unfilmed ending where, from the camera's point of view, Katie, once again possessed by the entity, literally just beats the shit out of Micah. But Oren Paley and the film production team felt that was too brutal and too complicated to see. So, despite all those endings that they came up with, they decided to come up with the ending that we saw in the movie. So that was pretty interesting. That you have all those alternate endings, and eventually that's what they came up with. One they didn't like. I think one was the first ending. They tested with audiences, and audience didn't like it, so they nixed that one. Paramount decided everyone did not like the Paramount ending where Katie kills herself after killing Micah. They didn't like that one either, and they thought the other ending was too brutal and too complicated to shoot. So eventually we got the ending that we got with, so I thought that was quite fascinating. Let's get on with Paranormal Activity 2. Now, Paranormal Activity 2 came out in 2010 and is an American found footage horror film. This one was directed by Todd Williams and was written by Christopher Landon and his writing team. This is sort of like a prequel sequel where the events take place before, during, and after the events of the first film. It stars Spray Garden. I'm pretty sure if you don't remember, she actually played in 24. Brian Brolin, Molly Efron, and of course Kate Featherston and Michael Sloth. Both those two characters from the first film make their appearances in the first film. And when Michael Sloth's character appears, they do specify that these events take place, I believe, 60 days before he gets killed. They actually put that in the film. So that's basically what this movie is about. Now, here we have Christy, Katie's sister. Katie, her sister, this is Christy's sister. She just gave birth to her son, which is Hunter. We have her husband Daniel, and his daughter Allie Ray from his previous marriage, where his first wife unfortunately passed away. And of course, we have their nanny. I think her name was their nanny Martine, and everything seems to be fine. Unfortunately, when they come back, the whole house is burglarized. I mean, shit is all over the place. This gives Dan the excuse to put up cameras all throughout the house. We have night motion. We have night motion lights. We have cameras out in the swimming pool. We have cameras out on the first, second, and third floor. Throughout the house, we have a camera in Hunter's bedroom. This is the excuse that they give so that way we can have the found footage after the so-called burglary, where everything is thrown all over the place. And that's when we start to notice, once again, the strange occurrences. First, it becomes pretty like, little things fall down, frying pans fall down, doors opening of themselves, lights coming on and off. The pool cleaner that they use to clean the pool, all of a sudden this rises up and comes up to the steps every night, as we see, once again, night 1, night 3, night 10, night this and night that. Every night something weird happens. Eventually they start to intensify, and that's when Christy starts to go a little bit more crazy and bonkers. Throughout the movie, we also see her and Katie talk about the time when they were haunted during their childhood. And eventually it leads to a real crazy crescendo at night as the occurrences intensify and become more dangerous as they affect his family. And that's what basically the premise is about. Is we see this side of the family, of Christy and Katie's family, and this is Christy's side. This is her version about what they go through being attacked by this entity. Now, the film follows basically the same pattern as we had with the first film. Like I said, we get occurrences happening very rarely, as I stated before, and then eventually begin to intensify. Yeah, they begin to intensify. They start attacking. They have a German Shepherd. They begin to attack the dog, or they make the dog do tricks. It gets so bad that Martin starts burning sage throughout the house because he felt there's an evil presence in this house. And we get to see the aftermath of it because when the occurrences happen, Dan doesn't believe it at first, but then when he looks at the tapes of what's happening, he sees something weird is obviously happening going around the house. As I stated before, we get to see more interactions between Katie and Christy. We get to see them how they are. They are truly very good, loving sisters as how they communicate with each other. Obviously, for some reason, Katie seems more disturbed about what happened to them as children, because Christy just can't remember what happened to them, and she feels as though this has been going on forever, while Christy has no memory about what happened to them. So I thought that family dramatic was pretty interesting. Now, I like the acting. I thought Spray Garden was pretty good as Christy. She's a pretty good actress, and I found her quite believable as a mother who's so desperate to protect her family and to protect her son, Hunter. And I thought she did a pretty good job of displaying that, especially when the occurrences start to get more violent. I thought Brian Boland did a pretty good job as Daniel. He is a very protective husband. He is not the douchebag that Micah was in the first film. He wants to protect his family, despite the fact that he doesn't believe in supernatural. He doesn't think it's supernatural, despite all the evidence in the contrary that's staring right in front of his face. And I also like Molly Efron's performance as Daniel, Allie Ray. Now, she doesn't play the cliche, I hate my stepmother. She actually loves her stepmother, well, she respects her, and she cares for her, and she actually cares for her half-brother, Hunter. And she goes about her way of protecting the family. As a matter of fact, throughout the film, she begins to investigate what's happening to the family. And we are left with clues as to which will eventually, throughout the series, we see what could be the reason why Katie and Chris are going through these occurrences. So I thought all the cast did a pretty good job. Obviously, Katie Featherstone and Mike Slocum, they do their great performances here. But it's a great performance all around the cast. Now, this film is basically filmed the same way as the first film was done. We have the found footage. We don't have the shaky cam that we do with most sound footage, unless someone knocks the camera over. But everything is seen right in front of you, right? Disturbances. When things happen, you see it. It's displayed right in front of you. So that's pretty good. There's no hidden tricks in behind there. We don't see that spotty imaging when something really bad happens. We actually see it happening right in front of the screen. And also I found very interesting that events that happened in this film actually affected in the first film. We don't know why it happened that way, but some of the events that happened in this film caused the events that happened in the first film. Now, I don't know if it's because of the entity that affected them as their children, and they decided to, hey, look, if we can't get what we want with Christy, we're going to do it with Katie. So that's the reason why Katie did what she does in the first film, and what she did in the first film. But I found it fascinating, and I actually thought it'd actually make the film even better, especially when during the end moments of the film, especially during the third act. I thought it was great. So with a good storyline, effective writing that actually carries on from the first film, we get more story out of this one. It actually has its own story, and it actually feeds into the series. So I thought they did a pretty good job. I really liked this movie a lot. I actually might think I liked it better than the first one because, like I said, we have more interaction because we have a larger cast, not just two people. And that's what made the first one good. So I really got to give everyone credit. They have Will and Ray and everything they did credit. I really enjoyed this film. So the Horror Miser is going to open up his vote. And I am going to give Paranormal Activity 2 3.5 out of my 5 gold coins. Yes, I'm going to give Paramount Activity 2 3.5 out of my 5 gold coins. I actually like this better than the first one. So my horror fans, of those who have seen Paranormal Activity 2, did you like it? Do you think it's better than the first one? Or do you think it fell short, it was just copying what they did in the first one? Leave your comments down in your comment section below and tell me what you thought Paranormal Activity 2. So that's my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up because it does help the channel out. And of course, as always, this is your first time here. Like I said, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. That way you can come and join the horror experience with me, the Horror Miser Monty G. And as always, all my social media links will be down in the description box below as well. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember, rules. Ha ha ha.